The night was breathing softly through the window, your shadow dancing slowly on the wall. I try to say the thousand words inside me, but your eyes already understood them all. The quiet wrapped around us like a secret, a language only lonely hearts could hear. And in the stillness of that fragile moment, your presence made my trembling disappear. I never knew that silence could be louder than every word I ever tried to say. Where your heart finally feels my silence, where every broken piece of me belongs. You hold the spaces I was always hiding, and turn my quiet into honest songs. In the hush between our breathing, I find the truth I've never known before. Your love hears every word I couldn't whisper. Where your heart finally feels my silence anymore. The piano softly echoes in the distance, like every dream I buried long ago. You touch my hand like sunlight through the darkness, and suddenly my hidden feelings show. No need for promises or perfect answers, no need to chase the echoes of the past, because the way your soul is leaning closer feels like a place my wandering heart can last. I never knew that silence could be healing until your love began to understand. Where your heart finally feels my silence, where every fragile part of me can stay. You read the spaces between my breathing, and love the words I never found to say. In the hush between our heartbeats, I hear a melody I've waited for. Your love listens deeper than my secrets. Where your heart finally feels my silence anymore. Maybe love was never meant for shouting. Maybe truth is softer than we knew. Maybe every quiet tear I've carried was only leading me to you. So let the world keep speaking without meaning. Let every restless noise fade out tonight. 'cause the silence in your arms is louder than every lonely echo in my life. Where your heart finally feels my silence, where all my hidden fears can fall apart. You turn the quiet into something sacred and write your mercy gently on my heart. In the stillness of forever, I finally know what love is living for. Your soul hears every dream I kept unspoken. Where your heart finally feels my silence evermore. Should ever fade to whispers, just listen to the quiet in my soul. Because your love has learned the deepest language, the silent place where broken hearts are whole. I saw the distance living in your shadow, like quiet storms behind your tired eyes. You wore your silence like a fragile armor. I wore my heart behind a thin disguise. Two drifting souls afraid of every feeling, two fragile dreams that never found their place. But when your hand reached slowly for the broken, I felt the warmth of something we could face. Maybe we were never meant for lonely. Maybe we were only meant to meet. When our lonely worlds learn to breathe together, every silent wall began to fall. Two hearts that wandered through the same forever finally found a home within it all. In the space between our heartbeats, a quiet miracle was born that night. Our lonely world stopped spinning in the darkness and slowly turned toward the same light. Hey. The night was gentle as your voice beside me, soft as a trembling truth inside your smile. And every moment felt like fragile healing, like broken roads were worth the lonely miles. Your laughter carried sunlight through my memories. Your touch erased the echoes of my fears, and in the calm between our shared confessions, I felt the meaning of forgotten years. Maybe every road of quiet sorrow only led us to this fragile start. When our lonely worlds learned to breathe together, every hidden tear began to shine. Two hearts that wandered through endless weather finally felt the warmth of intertwine. In the rhythm of your breathing, I heard the peace I searched for all my life. Our lonely world stopped drifting through the silence and found their home in the shared light. Maybe loneliness was just a doorway, maybe pain was just a road we crossed. Every broken night was slowly guiding two wandering souls that once were lost. When our lonely worlds learn to breathe together, every shattered dream began to mend. Two fragile hearts became a single shelter, where every lonely story finds its end. In the quiet of forever, your love becomes the air my soul can't keep. Our lonely worlds are finally breathing freely in every promise that our hearts will keep. And if the night returns with old reminders, your hand will still be resting next to mine. Because two lonely worlds that once were broken now share a single sky of light. The room was filled with words we never spoke of, like drifting clouds across a silent sky. Your eyes were holding stories in their darkness, while mine were learning slowly how to try. I felt the trembling truth between our heartbeats, a fragile thread we didn't understand, until the quiet moment that you reached me and softly placed your world inside my hand. Every lonely second led me closer to the miracle of you and I. The moment your soul leaned into mine, the world grew softer in the quiet air. Every broken road I walked alone on suddenly felt like it led me there. In the hush between our breathing, two wandering hearts began to rhyme, and everything I feared about forever voice was barely louder than a whisper, but every word was burning through the dark, like sunlight reaching corners of my memory, where lonely shadows left their quiet marks. I never knew how healing love could feel, until your touch erased my silent doubt, and every fragile dream I kept protected finally found the courage to come out. Maybe love was never meant for shouting. Oh, maybe truth is softer than we know. The moment your soul leaned into mine, every restless fear began to rest. Two hearts that carry quiet storms inside them finally found a place they could confess. In the rhythm of your heartbeat, I felt a promise written into time, and everything I lost along the journey returned the moment your soul leaned into mine. Tears that slowly shade my heart were only roads that led me to the instant where your soul and mine would never part. The moment your soul leaned into mine, every lonely echo disappeared. Two quiet worlds became a single story, braver than every hidden fear. In the stillness of forever, your love becomes the rhythm of my rhyme, and every dream I never dared believe in lives in the moment your soul leaned into mine. Time should ever question where we started, I'll point to that soft and sacred sign. The night the stars grew closer to our breathing, the moment your soul leaned into mine. Build my walls from pieces of old silence, from nights that never learned to understand. 1,000 echoes living in my shadow, 1,000 dreams slipping through my hands. And you arrive like morning through the window, soft as the courage I had never known. And suddenly the lonely room inside me felt less like something I had faced alone. Maybe broken hearts are only waiting for a love that listens in the dark, where my broken quiet meets your love. Every fragile piece begins to mend. You hold the silence I was hiding in and turn it into something I can send. In the calm between our heartbeats, I feel the healing rising from above. And every lonely echo finds its answer where my broken quiet meets your love. Ooh, the way you see the truth behind my weakness makes every hidden scar feel less alone. You touch the parts of me I try to bury and turn that trembling into something strong. No need for perfect words or explanations. Your presence writes a language in my soul. And every quiet tear I once carried finally finds a place to let it go. Maybe love was always meant to find us in the places we were most afraid, where my broken quiet meets your love. Every restless memory grows still. You turn the silence into understanding and every wound into a gentle will. In the warmth of your reflection, my fragile heart rises like a dove, and all the shadows slowly lose their meaning where my broken quiet meets your love. Every lonely night I walk through darkness, every silent prayer I sent above was only guiding broken pieces slowly toward the light of your forgiving love, where my broken quiet meets your love. Every shattered dream begins again. Two wandering souls become a shelter where even sorrow learns to mend. In the stillness of tomorrow, your heart becomes a place I'm dreaming of. And every quiet part of who I am lies where my broken quiet meets your love. So if the night should whisper old reminders, your arms will be the sky I'm thinking of. Because every broken silence finds its healing where my broken quiet meets your love. The city lights were fading and the sky was turning blue, but the silence in that moment was only filled with you. We were standing close together, like two stories yet untold, and the air between our heartbeats felt warmer than the cold. No promises were spoken, no confessions in the air, but something in that quiet said that love was waiting there. It was the night our hearts spoke without words, when your eyes said everything. In the silence of your presence, I could hear forever sing. Every breath felt like a promise, every glance a sacred spark. It was the night our hearts spoke without words, and you lit my darkest dark. There was magic in the stillness, like the world had stepped aside, just to watch two lonely dreamers find a truth they couldn't hide. Every second felt eternal, like a moment meant to stay, and the look you gave so softly took my loneliness away. I never heard a whisper, yet your love was loud and clear. Somewhere in that quiet, I knew you were meant to be here. It was the night our hearts spoke without words, when your eyes said everything. In the silence of your presence, I could hear forever sing. Every breath felt like a promise, every glance a sacred spark. It was the night our hearts spoke without words, and you lit my darkest dark. Maybe love begins in silence, where the truest feelings live. In the space between two heartbeats, where two souls begin to give. And if time should ever take us far from where we are tonight, I'll remember how your silence turned my shadows into light. It was the night our hearts spoke without words, when our souls began to see that the quiet between two strangers was the start of destiny. Every dream I held in darkness found its way into the spark. It was the night our hearts spoke without words, and you awakened my heart. And whenever silence finds me under distant silver stars, I'll go back to that moment where your quiet healed my scar.